Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Um,
Mm.
Hi.
I'm good afternoon. I'm calling to order the Beacon Hill Architectural Commission public hearing at 5:02 p.m. on Thursday, January 16th, 2025. My name is Mark Kiefer. I am the chairman, and I'm joined today by Commission Vice Chair Arian Allen, as well as Commissioners Feingold, Fleck, Jackson, and Steele. I believe Commissioner Given will be joining us shortly, and we'll make a note of that when she joins. And as always, of course, our host, Senior Preservation Planner Nick Armada. Today, the Commission will be holding a public hearing to review applications in accordance with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, including the subsequent amendments. We're conducting this meeting online, which is over Zoom, to ensure public access to deliberations of the Beacon Hill Architectural Commission. The public may access this call through telephone and video conferencing. As you may have heard, or if you've just joined, the hearing is being recorded, so all further conversations between commissioners should be audible to the public in attendance until the hearing is adjourned. And at this point, we'd like to acknowledge any elected officials or members of the media. Do you have any elected officials or members of the media? I see Dan Murphy from the Beacon Hill Times. Hi, Dan. Thanks for joining. Any other media members or elected officials?
Seeing none, Mark.
Okay, very good. Let's see. Members of the public will have an opportunity to ask questions and provide public comment on applications and discussions. And we'll do that as we adjudicate each application. We'll give you a heads up in advance that we're about to take public comment. At that time, we will welcome public comment and open it up to your comments. If you want to be heard on the record, please raise your hand in the Zoom application. It's a little hard to see because there's a lot of folks who don't just wave your physical hand in front of the camera, but push that button that says raise hand, probably at the bottom of your Zoom application panel. We'll repeat those instructions later, but there is a handy how-to instruction sheet on the screen right now. Again, it's the raise hand button you can see at the bottom of the screen. Again, we'll give you a heads up at when we've reached the point at each application where we are ready to take public comment. Okay, with that, I just want to take one more look to see if Commissioner Gibbon has joined us. I don't believe so. So we will go right into it. Nothing on the agenda for violations, so we'll go right into design review hearing. First on the agenda is 7 Louisburg Square. Is there a representative from 7 Louisburg Square present? If so, please make yourself
Yes.
known. There's Alex.
Hi, how are you? My name is Alex Esserly. I'm representing Stephen Harris Architects, the design applicant for this project.
Welcome, Alex. Thanks for coming in. Do you want to just give
Thank
a
you.
quick summary of what you are proposing?
Sure. Let me just share my screen. So we're proposing two, sharing the screen. Oh. Can you see my screen? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay,
Thanks.
great. So we have two items for the application today. One is concerning the relocation of a previously approved mail slot at the front door, and the other is the other part of the application is the application of a masonry sealant and stain for the front door surround. To get into it, this is the location of the project on Louisburg Square, number 7. So here you see the original mail slot location that was approved in a previous application for this project. We had issues essentially with the mail slot installation on this panel and how thin the panel was. We weren't able to essentially use our approved mail slot, our purchased mail slot, one that we think would look best in the district. So our proposal is essentially to move it to the door here, the center of the middle rail of the door, so that we have the proper thickness, which is the traditional thickness of the door, the 1 3/4 inch door thickness to mount the mail slot properly. So I can show an appendix. We have an appendix of where the original door mail slot was, and then a record of multiple houses on the square that have the mail slot located at the door at that center rail location. So we're simply asking to use our approved mail slot in the burnished brass color at that new location at the door. The other aspect of our application tonight is basically a restoration of the door surround. So this is the current condition of the door surround. This is caused from the fact that the door is currently just painted. I mean, sorry, the door surround of the masonry is just currently painted. So over time, the masonry isn't able to breathe properly, and it'll chip and flake over time. So this will require consistent maintenance, and essentially it's not the best process by which to treat this masonry. Obviously, this masonry at one point was brownstone and the brownstone color, but since been painted over time. So our proposal is to utilize a very common matrix, essentially, which is a product that is used to patch gaps or chips or flaking of the brownstone composite. So this is the first product we'd use. It's very common, very well regarded for brownstone and masonry repairs. And then apply a stain to the overall brownstone surround that will allow the patched portions and the existing brownstone to basically be the same color, a uniform color. And we asked that the color be allowed to match the lintels, so that there's a consistent brownstone or light sandstone appearance to the front facade. As you can see, there's kind of like a slight difference between the two right now. So we're asking for a consistent surface treatment for all the building elements that would be considered brownstone for the elevation. So those are really the only two items that we're presenting today. The project is essentially complete, so just wanted to make sure that we're above board and presenting these things to the commission.
Okay, thanks, Alex. Just a
Yep.
quick clarifying question on the latter portion.
Yes.
What you're showing there, so you would match the restored door surround to the lintels as you've now finished them. This is the
Yes.
current situation that reflects the work you've been doing on the building?
Correct. So these photos right here on page 6 of the presentation, those are photos of the current, as of very recently restored brownstone sills. So we request that the stain then that is applied to the restored
Right now I'm on a conference call. I'll call you back.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, we request that the restored door surround be the stain applied, the color match these lintels and sills that have been restored over the course of the project.
So that's what it'll look like, what we're seeing right there, because that's
Correct,
the finished
yes.
product on the lintels, right?
Yeah,
Or the
as you can
sills.
see here, this is the current lintel and sill color that we will match
Okay.
with the new stain. Yeah.
And then with respect to the mail slot, I'm afraid I misunderstood the application a little bit.
Sure.
You were going to put it on the side panel, and now you want to put it in the door, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
We were when we had our, I believe this was months, maybe years ago, when we originally presented the commission concerning the restoration of the front door and the installing fire department equipment, basically a number of pieces that we needed to apply to the front facade. We had originally wanted to retain the original position of the mail slot. Unfortunately, the construction of most mail slots precludes us being able to put it in a panel that is this thin, because these are essentially made up of 3/4 inch panels. So a proper mail slot location for most door slots mail slots is in a 1 3/4 inch door. So we want to be able to use our original mail slot that was approved by the commission. The location that it works the best at is the front door, just because of the depth of these pieces of hardware. So
Okay.
yeah.
Thanks for clarifying that. Commissioners, any other clarifying questions about either of the two pieces of this application before we take public comment on this? And we'll come back and obviously discuss it, but just want to get any further clarifications that's needed.
None here.
Okay. In that case, why don't we go ahead and take public comment? Again, if you want to be heard on the record, now is the time. And for this application, just raise your hand using the button at the bottom, probably of your Zoom panel. And I think Nick's going to need to unmute you, but please just raise your hand in the Zoom and Nick will call on you in turn.
Okay, first up we have is Holland with the Civic Association. Holland, go ahead.
Thank you, Nick. Holland Ward with the Beacon Hill Civic Association. We do not oppose this application as proposed. The relocation of the mail slot and the replacement door hardware is of an appropriate design satisfying guideline E5, and neither the previous nor proposed mail slot locations are visible from a public way. We would note that the previous mail slot has already been removed from the side panel and the hole filled in. We find the stained color for the surround appropriate as per guideline B4, since the replacement material is approximate to the brownstone in composition, appearance, and texture, and historic photographs evidence the surround match the color of the lintels and sills. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Holland. I do not see any other public comment, Mark, so we can go ahead and close it for this application.
Okay, thank you, Holland. So public comment is now closed for this application. Okay, so this is not an uncommon location for the mail slot, Alex, but can you just, for the benefit of our colleagues here, you said there's some examples, I think 19 and 22, both at the other end have them in the door. Is that right? Are there any others on this here? There's
so
one.
19, let me see if I can zoom into this. I should have made note of the so it's 22.
Yeah.
That is 4. So that's on the south side. And also it seems that would probably be 2. So 2, 4, 19, and 22.
Okay, and then the other ones are just, again, for our own edification. They're generally either in the side panel. I think there's one that's even in the bottom rail of the door. But yeah, that's kind of, this is kind of what we see. It's one of those.
Traditionally you see like the kick panels in the bottom panel of the door, but so.
Right. Okay, thank you for further clarifying that. So this is not particularly unusual. Let's see, commissioners, any concerns about the proposed relocation of the mail slot?
Mr. Chairman, I think it's one of the simplest and most direct presentations we've ever had, and I don't see any problem with either of these matters before us here.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner Feingold. Anyone else? Nick, would you want to see a sample of the proposed masonry treatment?
I don't think that's necessary. I think it is it's on the sills right now currently.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Treatment. I think it's fine.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Sample. Yeah.
Okay. Any concerns, questions about the masonry treatment?
No.
None for me.
Okay. Anyone want to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve as submitted.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second that motion.
Great. Okay. By the way, has Commissioner Given joined the meeting yet? I just want to make sure. I don't believe so.
Don't see
Okay.
her. Yeah.
Okay, we will vote. It's been moved and seconded to approve as submitted. We'll vote on the motion. Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Mr. Feingold,
Aye.
Mr. Fleck,
Aye.
Mr. Jackson. Ralph, you're muted. Commissioner Jackson.
Aye.
Thanks, Ralph. Commissioner Kiefer votes aye, and Commissioner Steele.
Aye.
Okay, the motion is approved. The application is approved. Thank you very much, Alex. You'll get a letter from Nick summarizing our determination. If you have any further questions, feel free to just follow up with him directly. Thanks for coming in.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thanks. Okay, short agenda this week. The prior application on Charles Street has withdrawn for this month. So next is 55 to 57 BRIMMER. I think I saw Don Mills on there somewhere. Don or anyone else from 55 to 57 BRIMMER?
Yeah, hi, Mark. I'm here.
Hi, Don. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. Do you want to, is it just you?
It's just me. Yeah, as far as I
Okay.
know. Yeah.
Do you want to give us a summary of what you have proposed?
Yes. So there's 3 items. This is for the carriage house at 55 to 57 BRIMMER, which is at the northwest corner of Chestnut Street and BRIMMER Street. It's being rehabilitated for Park Street School, whose parent building is across the street at 67 BRIMMER. So we have 3 things before you. One is a rolling hoist beam to support the science curricula. This is a follow-up on our denial without prejudice for a rotating hoist that only I liked. So you guys rejected that. So I came up with a new version. And then 3 discreetly located exterior cameras for security purposes for the school, and then 1 doorbell. So I'll go through each item with you. The site plan, in case you're not familiar, it's one of the few remaining carriage houses in the flat of the hill. And it's got a twin next door owned by Tom Bogan and his wife. They share a dormer facing Chestnut Street. Tom's been very cooperative. The contractor's probably going to do some carpentry repairs on his dormer. We'll make sure he comes before you before we do that. The front part of the building that actually fronts on Chestnut Street is a 2-story brick building that dates from 1874. No building permit was found, but the Sanborn insurance maps were useful for that. And then the back part is a 1-story wood frame building that we're reconstructing because it had no foundation on it. All the work that's being done is under a prior certificate of appropriateness. Incidentally, the project manager for the contractor's last name is Sanborn, and his great-great-grandfather, I think, was implemental in the Sanborn maps, which is
Oh, wow.
so thanks to his great-great-grandfather, maybe there's another great thrown in there. We know the date of these buildings because we found it only through the Sanborn maps.
Right.
That's kind of a fun coincidence for
Very
this
cool.
project.
Right.
So the front facade, this is real life heavy snowstorm the Friday before Christmas. We're restoring this dormer window. That's the twin dormer with the neighbor. Not a lot of detail on the front. The back addition is in construction. It's gotten a little further now. It's sheathed. And what we're proposing on the front facade, on the right-hand side is Chestnut Street, are 2 things in this portico. The portico is recessed from the street about 6.5 feet, and the ceiling is about 9.8 feet tall. We're proposing a small black security camera in the uppermost corner here. All of the surround in this area is painted black, so it won't be on the primary facade. The intent is to surveil the entrance door. And then
I don't see where you pointed.
Oh, yeah, Don, can you your cursor is quite small on the screen, so can you just
okay,
point that out, go back a slide, and then, okay, either way.
okay, I can use my hand. The hand tool. Do you see the hand tool? Is that better?
I think it's my cursor, guys. So
I can.
Okay.
This
Okay,
is
so
enlargement.
can we go back to the photograph from the street?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
So it would be 6.5 feet behind this this brick pillar between the 2 properties.
Okay, so it's
And it would be, yeah, at the garage door, you can't really see it. I have an elevation drawing I'll show you.
okay.
The garage door is 6.5 feet back from the brick facade, and the ceiling of the portico recess, which is also black, is 9.8 feet above the grade. So it'll be in that upper left-hand corner, and the camera will be black and 3.5 inches in diameter.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The other feature in the portico will be a doorbell, which from this view you won't be able to see. But you will likely be able to, if you try really hard, you'll be able to see the edge of it. It's a small doorbell that's also the access code to get into the building. The side is plain black. The front is illuminated but facing away from the street. So extremely difficult to see, but I wanted you to know about it because I know these things are important.
And Don, just to be clear, it's mounted not on the same plane as the door, but the one that is kind of coterminous with the facade right
Yeah,
there.
we've intentionally put it on the what I call the blind side of the portico jamb.
Yeah.
Because you could see it walking by if it were here next to the, if it was on the strike side of the door, you would see it when you're walking by.
Yeah. But so this is, and bearing in mind the public way is another foot or so is the sidewalk,
that's
right?
correct.
So yeah, you can't, if you stepped into that portico, you could see it, but
That's right.
it doesn't look
if
like
you-
you could see it from the street.
If you drew a line here, you might see a quarter inch of it or so, but I don't want to take
Yeah.
any chances. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Um,
Okay. But you won't see the face of it, the part that's
No.
illuminated, right?
No,
Okay.
no, you won't. That's why we chose to do it
Yeah.
around the back side of the portico opening instead of beside the door.
Right. We appreciate that very much.
So here's the elevation of that portico entrance. So that door you're looking at is 6.5 feet back from the brick facade.
Right.
So the camera here drawn to scale, 3.5 inches in diameter and black in a black surround, up high, as close to that corner as possible. It probably will be actually further up and to the left of that is wherever we can drill a hole closest to the
You're
corner.
not showing an elevation, you're showing a plan.
This is an
Ah,
elevation.
there it is. Thank you.
Do you see the elevation?
Yes, got it now. Thanks.
Now we do. Yes.
Okay, great. Do we have two different images going here, Nick? This is just mine, right?
I think it was just some time lag, Don.
Oh, okay. Transmission. All right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I'm speaking on Thursday, January 16th. Okay, so the doorbell won't be seen in this view, but that's where the camera will be.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
have an image of the camera that I will show later.
Okay.
All right, so here is the door. It's not blue. That's protective material. We're going to reuse the door, swing it out, lower the sill because we're making the building accessible. But you can see everything's black. The doorbell will be to the left of the brick jamb on that wood piece that you can see the edge of.
Yeah.
And the doorbell itself is black. So like I said, very difficult to see even the edge of it, but technically you would be able to see a sliver of it. Here's an elevation view of that door, showing the edge of the doorbell on the right behind the brick jamb, drawn to
Right.
scale. This is the other side of the portico entrance. So the upper corner of the garage door, inside corner between the paneled wall and the garage casings is where the black camera will go, right up in the upper intersection of the jamb and head casings of the door.
Right. Okay.
All right. And here's an elevation view of that, showing where the camera will be mounted on the garage wall, not on the sidewall.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Don, you're not proposing any lantern here, are you?
We have two onion lights that you've reviewed with you, actually.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, the exterior lighting we've upgraded to be more
Okay.
more similar. I had sent you a cut sheet of that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we have one on each side of the portico entrance, one centered above the door and one mirroring it opposite. This is the roof, second floor roof deck in the back of at the one-story addition. There's two cameras here and the rolling hoist that will show you. One camera, which will take a look at the rear yard and the gate coming through the fence off BRIMMER Street. Again, 3.5 inches in diameter, will be tucked behind the copper scupper so that it's minimally visible from the street. There'll be a brief window of time when you could look up and see it if you know what you're looking for, but tucking it behind the scupper allows us to survey the backyard and back door without having it be more than minimally visible from the street. The other camera, which will survey the exit stair and back door, second exit will be behind the chimney of the rear facade of the brick and beside a downspout as well. And this is drawn to scale. It projects 2.8 inches off the wall, and it's 3.5 inches in diameter. I have a picture of it to show you. I have elevation of this view as well, but before I leave this drawing, I want to show you the location of our proposed rolling hoist. So just to further orient you, Brimmer Street is on the top of the page, and the side yard, backyard of this carriage house is on the left of this. So there's a parapet wall with a guardrail tucked behind it on these two sides. And what we're proposing is to put a rolling steel 3-inch wide by 6-inch high beam that's mounted on the parapet wall that's on the back side of this deck that is narrow enough to slide through the balusters when it's in use. So this will normally be over the parapet, behind the guardrail, and below the guardrail. And then when needed, for like they do like block and tackle exercises to learn about the mechanics of how to lift things with multiple pulleys and ropes. They'll slide it out and put a pulley on the end and have, buckets full of things, hopefully no children, but you never know, harness it. And then when it's not in use, which is the typical timing, it would be pushed back so that it's tucked behind the guardrail. I can show you this in elevation. We also have a structural detail cut through this parapet wall to show you its relationship to the guardrail. This is the Brimmer Street elevation of the one-story addition. There's a 6-foot-high black fence. This is a collaborative area. The parapet and the guardrail. And then I'm sorry, I'm getting an echo. What is it? Do you hear an echo?
Yeah, pretty bad echo.
I did not change my settings. Okay, I guess it's gone away now.
Yeah.
Somebody must have switched from phone to computer. So the rolling hoist is drawn behind the guardrail back here. So unless you're 10 feet tall, you wouldn't see this view actually from Brimmer Street. You'd see it potentially from the right-hand side area, but as you know, two-dimensional drawings have their limits, but it would be behind the guardrail, and this is about 26 feet back from Brimmer Street.
And Don, sorry to interrupt. It's behind the back rail, but there's also a front rail, right? So you'd be seeing it through.
Yes, yeah,
the front
basically
rail right of the street, yeah, and then 26 feet of deck, and then the back rail.
Correct. Yeah, that's right. I have a side view to show you as well. So yeah, it's not behind this front rail. It's back 26 feet from the street, from the curb, basically.
Right.
So you would not see this at all when you're standing in front of the building.
Right.
And then the cameras, one's behind the scupper here, one's back behind the chimney over here. So you wouldn't see them as well in this view. The north wall shows the camera behind the scupper and the camera behind the downspout and chimney back here.
Mhm.
And then there's a 3-inch by 6-inch profile of the beam that fits between the balusters. So this guardrail is continuous. The guardrail at the front wall you were seeing in the prior drawing. And then there is a guardrail in front of this again at the back parapet here. So that would roll out when in use and roll back when not in use. This is a view that's not visible from the public way, but it shows you how it's constructed and supported on this. This is the top of, this is a view, a section cut looking towards Brimmer Street through the exit stair. So on the left here, we have the extension of the guardrail. The extension of the rolling hoist when it's deployed, showing how its height is in relation to the guardrail. The guardrail is tucked behind the parapet. And that this will be bracketed and supported off of the parapet wall. And I have a structural detail to show that to you as well. So here's a section through the parapet wall showing that we're going to have this rolling hoist on basically conveyor belt type rollers. so that it can roll in and roll out when needed and easy to deploy and easy to hide back behind the guardrail when it's not in use. And it's all below the height of the guardrail. All of it will be painted black, just like the railings and all the other metal in the neighborhood that's around in this area.
Okay,
Here's the camera, 3.5-inch diameter, projects 2.8 inches from the face. And here is the doorbell. It's 6.3 inches tall, 1.59 wide, 1.6 inches deep. So you won't see this face of it except when you're in the private part of the portico, but you'll see the right edge with difficulty because of the placement of it, so that it's not visible. And that's the end of the presentation, but I can go back and look at any illustrations that you might want to see again.
Thank you.
okay, thanks very much, Don.
Mhm.
That's very helpful, and thanks for your efforts with respect to the hoist to considerably reduce the visibility of that part of the plan.
Mhm.
Commissioners, any clarifying questions as to what is intended here, what's been proposed?
Not for me.
Okay, I don't think I see any others. Okay, why don't we take, if you think of anything, we'll come back, of course, but let's take public comment. If you want to be heard on the record again, press the raise your hand button on the bottom of your Zoom panel. Nick will acknowledge you and unmute you.
Okay, first up we have is Holland. Holland, go ahead.
Thank you, Nick. We do not oppose this application as proposed. The security cameras are located discreetly and not visible from a public way, satisfying guideline A9, and the rolling hoist will only be visible as deck furniture when not in active use. The video doorbell is not street facing and will be functionally invisible from a public way, so may not require a brass cover to satisfy guideline E7. A brass cover would only serve to make the device more visible, not less. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Holland. Okay, Mark, I'm not seeing any other public comments, so we can close it for this application.
Okay, thanks, Holland. Thanks, Nick. So public comment is now closed. Commissioners, again, any other questions? I think clearly Don has significantly reduced the visibility of the hoist, which was a concern when he came before us with the prior iteration. I think they've demonstrated, and the Civic Association has confirmed that this doorbell, well, if it were visible, is likely not something we would approve due to the illumination, but it seems that it won't be, for all intents and purposes, visible from the public way. Yeah, any other questions or comments?
I think as before, I think this is an excellent presentation, and the doorbell, the lights, and the beam are I think are all perfectly presented, and they're okay with me. I agree. I think it's good as presented.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Feingold. Anyone want to affirm that view or offer a dissenting one?
I'll affirm it.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Steele?
I'll affirm it.
Okay, very good. I don't want to cut anyone off here, but unless anyone else has anything, is that a motion? Does someone want to make a motion?
As submitted.
Yes.
Okay, so Commissioner Jackson, you're moving to approve as submitted,
Yes.
and Sandy, was that a second?
Yes, it was. It is.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the application as submitted. So we will vote on the motion. Commissioner Allen,
Hi.
Commissioner Feingold,
Aye.
Commissioner Fleck,
Aye.
and has Commissioner Given joined?
He is there.
Yes, there's Commissioner Given. Let the record reflect that Commissioner Given has joined the meeting. Commissioner Given,
Hi.
Commissioner Jackson,
Aye.
Commissioner Kiefer votes aye, and Commissioner Steele.
Hi.
Okay, the motion passes. The application is approved as submitted. Thank you very much, Don, for your time and attention on this, and particularly your efforts to reflect the feedback you got last time with respect to the hoist and make it considerably less visible. We really appreciate that. You'll get a letter from Nick summarizing our determination. As always, if you have any other questions, just follow up with him directly. And thanks for coming in.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Thank you. Okay. Administrative review. Does anyone have any comments, questions, concerns about the administrative review items? Let's
No.
just take one more look at those. Is that it, Nick, or is there a second page?
One page.
That is it. Okay. Do
One
you want to-
question, Mr. Chair, on,
Yes, please.
on our
Go ahead.
recusals, is, the rule, the abutter of an abutter,
I believe that is correct. If you're
two
two
steps
houses away,
removed is,
yeah.
okay, thank you.
All right. Nick, is that right?
Correct, yes.
Great. Okay. Let's see. Do you want to take public comment? Does anyone want to be heard on the record with respect to any or all of the administrative review items?
I think they're fine as submitted.
Okay. I'm not hearing any going once, going twice, public comment. Okay. So there's no public comment.
Right.
I'll close public comment. Is that a motion, Commissioner Feingold, for
Yes,
approval?
sir. Yes, sir.
Do we have a second?
A second.
Okay, we will vote. It's been moved and seconded to approve the administrative review items en masse. We'll vote, Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Feingold,
Aye.
Commissioner Fleck,
Aye.
Commissioner Gibbon,
Aye.
Commissioner Jackson,
Aye.
Commissioner Kiefer votes aye, Commissioner Steele.
Aye.
Okay, administrative review items are approved. Thank you very much. Ratification of public hearing minutes. I'm gonna have a couple of requested revisions of these. Anyone else have any edits or comments on the December minutes, pardon me?
No.
Okay,
Ready when you are, Mark.
okay, so let's see, I'm just getting that. Sorry, bear with me a second. Okay, so Nick, with respect to the first one, 71 Mount Vernon, at present it says Commissioner Kiefer motion to deny the application. Can we just expand that a bit to say more specifically, deny the application and issue a remedial action order requiring the walkway to be returned to its original bluestone condition?
Yep. Got it?
And then on 222 Cambridge Street, so technically we issued a certificate, we asked for a certificate of exemption, so can we just revise that so it says Commissioner Kiefer motion to dismiss the violation and issue a certificate of exemption for the signage?
Yes. CO4.
Rather than approve the application, because I guess technically we're saying the application
Fair.
isn't,
Yes.
whatever, you get it.
Okay.
Any other revisions, edits?
Good eye, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
With those revisions, do we have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
A second.
Okay, thank you. We'll vote Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Feingold,
Aye.
Commissioner Fleck,
Aye.
Commissioner Gibbon,
Aye.
Commissioner Jackson,
Aye.
Commissioner Kiefer votes aye, Commissioner Steele.
Aye.
Very good, thank you. The ratification, the minutes are approved. Sorry, just to be clear, that's the December 2024 Beacon Hill Architectural Commission minutes. Nick, staff updates.
Okay, just a couple small updates here. So I just wanted to remind folks, it's the beginning of the year, we're just kind of starting off fresh again, to make sure that we have all of your information correct on the portal. And I'll show you that right now, how to do that in case you don't know how to do it. So all you do is if you're logged into the commission portal, you go into your appointment information and just make sure that all of this information is correct, your most recent resume and all of this information. And then don't worry about the biography, I'll do that if needed. So just make sure that's all up to date. If there any phone numbers are different or your emails have changed, just change them there. And that should take just a couple seconds, just so in case we know how to get in touch with you if there's any press comments or anything like that. Okay, and then second, some department announcements here. You're the first here to know, so you got the inside scoop, including Dan. So we have two new landmarks. One is the Jewelers Building in Downtown Crossing, right on the corner of Bromfield and Washington Street. And City Hall is now an official Boston landmark.
Oh, great.
It was Mo, I know you would be happy about that. So Mo, the exterior is protected, the main third floor lobby is protected, City Council chambers is protected, the transaction area is protected, and the mayor's office is protected, including the metal panels, excluding the Eagle Room, unfortunately. But we made some great progress. We had some really great conversations with the facilities team, and we expect a press release sometime next week. So it was a long time coming, but it has officially been designated as a protected Boston landmark. So if you hate it, too bad, it's here forever. So yeah, so that's it. Ed.
Congratulations on both.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, certainly. One detail question. When you say Jewelers Building, I think in my mind there's two. There's 333 and 387. Which one is this?
I will show you. It's the corner of Bromfield and Washington.
Yeah.
So 87?
Yeah.
It's not the DWS or DSW building.
No, correct.
It's not. Okay. The one that has the back door on Province Street.
Correct. Yes.
Yes.
Got it.
It
Okay,
is. Where are
thank
we?
you.
Where are we?
So which is it, 333 or?
I'll show you.
387.
Yes, that's it.
It is. Boop, boop.
Because the 333 is closer to me. The 387 would be the other side.
It's this building.
Yeah. Well, it'll be on the side where the old Bible Society used to be on Bromfield. Yeah.
Oh, so that is the DSW building.
Oh, well, I guess it is. Yeah, because it's in both these buildings, this building and this building.
It goes
both-
across. Oh, that's
Right.
right.
And it does not have a back door on Province Street. That's the one over by the closer to the school street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
And
this
I don't mean to get too wonky about it. I was just curious because I think of them as both the Jewelers Building, but that's probably a misnomer.
That's a handsome facade. Do we know who the original architect or date of the building is?
Winslow and Weatherall, and well, Mo, I don't think you follow us on social media because we would have that, you would see that post. Here, hang on, I'll show you a little bit. So it is
Nice.
1897 to 1904. It was built in two segments because there was some holdout in terms of the original owner. So yeah, so that's it. So, and I just lost my screen, so I can't do anything. There we go. All right. So yeah, so that is it. And we are good to go. And we are done within 45 minutes, which is incredible.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
It's a record.
That's a record.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Well done. Thank you.
Very good. With that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to
adjourn.
So
adjourn.
moved.
And second?
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
we'll vote.
Doesn't need us.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any
Happy
opposed
New
or
Year,
abstentions?
everyone.
Happy New Year indeed.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yep.
Happy New
Yeah.
Year.
Enjoy your evening.
Yep.
Have a good one, guys.
Thanks.
Bye
Later.
now.
See ya.
See ya.
I gotta get off.
Aye. You there, Nick?